Welcome back to Grow Joyfully. It's 7:30 in the morning on Thursday, the 25th of July. And it is my 43rd wedding anniversary. So that's kind of nice. My husband and I are going to go down to a very nice restaurant downtown close to here, about 20 to 30 minutes away, and we're going to celebrate the occasion. So today I am here in the main garden checking out the cucumber wall to see if there's anything that I need to pick. My daughter and I made peach salsa yesterday. It's quite late in the evening, but we got it done. We only made 4 pints. And what we did was we made our usual peach salsa recipe, but with canned and frozen things. Because our peaches aren't ready, our tomatoes aren't ready, we were able to find a few peppers here, but I had to supplement it with more, and I actually had some chopped up in the freezer. I had minced garlic in a jar in the refrigerator. I did use a fresh onion, and we were able to find enough cilantro here, barely, to be able to finish the recipe. So I'll have to let you know how that went. Kind of excited about it. I hope it turned out. But I just wanted to quickly check. This has got to be tied up. I love this wall of cucumbers. It's so exciting. Oh, look at this. There's one there forming. They blend in with the greenery, though, I have to say. I'm going to trim back some of the leaves so I can see. Here's a watermelon. Heaven knows how that's going to grow in amongst all the cucumbers and cantaloupe. That's a horsey in the background. There's the neighbor horse, Samson, and there's more horses just beyond there. Samson's an older fella, but he just keeps on a-ticking. We had 2 horses, probably 7 years ago. But they were both old, really old. One was my dad's horse, and my dad passed away, so I kept the horse and let him live out his life here as a senior citizen. And it's hard not having them, but they do cost a lot of money. I grew up with horses, and I just love the smell of them, the sound of them, but it does cost a lot of money to buy their hay, vet bills, and things like that. So we decided that we wouldn't have horses right now. And now I have a whole bunch of grandkids who would really love that, so that's a tough decision. Anyway, so we were able to make peach salsa. These things are growing. This is an Anaheim chili pepper. This is a hot pepper blend. I'm not sure what kind it is because it's a blend. A habanada. It looks like the habanadas do not get tall. Hopefully they'll do something this year. I've been waiting and trying to grow them for many years now. This is a 42-day tomato. It takes 70 to 90 days to grow a beefsteak tomato. So you can see 42 days is really quite short. I don't think they'll be big at all, but they'll be tomatoes, so I will take it. This bed is coming around. I fertilized it and watered it. Here's a Hungarian heart tomato, my first year for those. Those are supposed to be a paste tomato like the pink ox hearts, yellow ox hearts, things like that. There's a Cherokee purple. My Cherokee purples have all been very stunted and not happy this year. I don't know if we'll get any or not. I love Cherokee purples, so I'm hoping we do get 1 or 2. Abe Lincoln pineapple, that thing is not going to produce anything. It's too small, not enough time. And look at this little okra plant. I guess I didn't get it in soon enough. So it's going to flower right here at this short. We will have to see what it does and if it does. Here's an indigo apple. First year I've grown this one. I think they're a small saladette sized tomato. Obviously it's going to be purpley blue. Another habanada. Not looking overly happy. Have to give it some TLC. A sweet 100. Those are little cherry tomatoes and they usually produce wildly. And my beloved chocolate sprinkles. And you need to be tied up, sweetie. The black crim is getting more color. They're not as big as they usually can be. Maybe more water. These are the tender sweet beans. Here's some here. And more blossoms coming, so I better get those picked. I thinned the carrots and gave them a haircut to see if that would help. I need to take more leaves off these cucumbers. I've got to get out to the main garden because I'm going to go see my kids at swim lessons this morning. And I have a limited amount of time. Look at these sweet potatoes. Aren't they thick and beautiful? That's just how I imagine them to be. There's a bit of a breeze, but it's almost warm, you know. Not really helpful, just almost kind of sickening. But you get what you get. It actually rained here last night. We got a weather advisory at about 6 o'clock that there was going to be severe thunderstorms. And it turned out that it wasn't. I think it went around us. But we probably did get a rain for about 10 minutes, which we were thrilled with, but we really could have used more. It cleared out the air a little bit. Here's a cucumber forming on the hoop. Look, there's a tiny baby one right there. I want to come out here every day so that they don't get too big. Oh my goodness. I say that. And then look what I find. I have to snap it off here. So they don't get too big. Well, that didn't work. That's why you come out every day and take a look, because they're, oh my goodness. Okay, note to self. They're getting too big. We can just eat these in salads and different things. I want to make up a recipe that has sour cream and dill and put these in it. It's going to be really good. Okay, so there's two big cucumbers. I know they can get bigger, but then they're really icky. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on these guys. They're going to get sneaky. Oh my goodness. Well, maybe we'll sell these at the farm stand because these look like really good cucumbers for eating. Okay, so yeah, my instincts about cucumbers being ready were correct. I will look at it from the other side to see if I've missed anything. Here's a little one. I'm going to snap off the little ones and save them in water in the refrigerator to see if I can get a big enough batch to pickle, because they're a lot more crisp when they're little. I should probably take this one in too then. It's not very big, but that's the size we want them for pickles. I have more cucumbers growing up this side of the hoop, but it'll be quite a while until they're ready. I'm going to pick some of these contender beans to make sure that they keep producing, because like Q reminded me, if you don't pick them, the plant will think they're finished and they'll stop producing the beans and set seed, and that will be that. So we'll keep it going. There's a few here. There's really not enough to do much with, but maybe have a small bit for dinner, but you got to keep them picked. This poor tomato has not been doing well. I don't think it's getting enough water. It's a pink Berkeley tie-dye, my first year for this. So yesterday I put some grass on it to mulch it. I fertilized it, tied it up more, and watered it really well. So I'm going to really keep an eye on it to see if we can get it to snap out of it. We picked some Mizuma Japanese brassica yesterday to sell down at the farm stand, and I'm trying to get the radishes out. We have the beets growing over there, and down here we have a big pump for the subdivision that takes care of all the sprinklers here, and it has a hole in it. It's not working right now, and it was turned off. They did send out an email, but I didn't get it. My husband did, so I didn't know, and things were getting very dry and very unhappy. So my daughter had to come out here and water with the hose and try to get everything as good as she could. She was able to tie up all the determinate tomatoes yesterday, as I said in yesterday's video. So things are looking good here. I took in the cabbage, replanted collards and kohlrabi out here. And there's still that cute little kohlrabi right there. This bed was dying, so we just barely caught it in time. I don't know if it'll snap back there or not. The sweet peas seem to be okay, and the basil. I'm really going to have to watch these things every day. Some of the blackberries that looked like they had sun scald or just weren't filling out, they're looking a little better. We're really watering this. There's a whole bunch of them. I'm really hoping to get at least 1 or 2 batches of blackberry jelly. It's really lovely stuff. This is how the blackberries are supposed to look. Really long and full and delicious. What we have here is a thornless variety, and let me tell you, that is such a gift. Whoever created that, thank you, thank you, thank you. Blackberries are really lovely, and they have so many nutrients and good things in them for you. Not a bad harvest for a quick morning walk through. I've got to get over to the pasture garden and see if there's any cucumbers there. The pasture garden looks really pretty good considering where we started out. We need to weed eat the paths over here, and we could definitely use some weeding over here and over there. But my husband has been working so hard on trying to get the weeds under control between the tomatoes, and you can see that over there too. It's looking so much better. Oh my goodness. You just work and work and work and work, and yet in the winter you're like, okay, I've got to go for a walk or work out on the exercise bike to have something physical to do. But during this season you're like, oh, this is so much. Anyway, oh, that breeze is really helping. I'm loving that. The tomatoes, there's the roosters saying good morning. This is a pineapple tomato. It's setting fruit, looking lovely. That Cherokee purple is stunted, like I mentioned before in the main garden. Having a lot of trouble with them. This is a Dr. Wychees. I'll have to look on the other side for this one. This is an old German. This is a triple crop. It's quite a producing maniac. It does really well. It's a big red, beautiful beefsteak tomato. This is a black brandywine. My first year for growing it. Brandywines all have the potato leaf. Thank you, rooster. And this one is a mortgage lifter. I think you know the interesting story about the mortgage lifter. The man who created it was hoping to have enough success from it to be able to pay his mortgage. So the story goes. This one, what is this one? I think I just read that to you. Oh, that's a German Queen. One of the first tomatoes that I ever grew. It's red with maybe some streaks. There we go. Pink oxheart. No, not blossom and rot. Anyway, hopefully the rest of these will be okay. They make really good paste tomatoes, and they can get pretty big. There's the triple crop again. Here's a green zebra. It's really a pretty tomato. It's green with yellow streaks. It doesn't get too big. It's a globe tomato. And here's some pretty cosmos. This is the pink one. And right here are the bright lights cosmos. I've only got 2 plants that self-seeded from last year. The second cattle panel's looking good. This is Aunt Ruby's German green. First year for growing that. It's supposed to turn out to be a really big beefsteak. I'm excited about that. This is Aroma. It sets its fruit all at once. It's a determinate. That means it's determined how much is going to set. It does it all at once and then it's done for the year. Whereas indeterminates are vining and they just keep growing and producing, and they'll keep growing until the first frost. This is one of the new ones that I've grown this year. Ananas Noir, so black banana. So that'll be exciting. Competition. This is the chocolate stripes. And I've never had them get this big, so hopefully my seed didn't get cross-pollinated with another variety. A delicious tomato. Last year, they're red on the package and they came out to be very golden, kind of striped, and definitely not what it said on the package, but we're trying it again. Berkeley tie-dye, like that poor sick plant over in the main garden. It's looking great. The orange Russolini, look, there's a couple of tomatoes to pick. I'm so excited. These guys are early, and so are the Thorburns terracotta. Amish paste. Time to see if there's any zucchini ready. You have to keep right up with the zucchini, because if it's only about, oh my gosh, if it's only about 3 inches long one day, 2 days later, take a look at this. A zucchini this big, you can only shred up with your grater and use for zucchini bread, or use it as a zucchini boat. Cut it in half, scoop it out, and put hamburger mixture in it. Here's another one. If you turn your back, look at the size of that one. I like to pick them when they're small, but maybe we can try to sell a few of these out in the farm stand. Some people do look for the bigger ones. You have to look on both sides and all over under the leaves because they tend to hide. So we're on a zucchini hunt. This is a size that's just barely small enough. Right here. Some people like them even smaller. I know I do. Depending on what I'm using them for. Such as this size here. Those are very tender and very nice. Let's see if I can get it off without breaking. There we go. It's still, oh, the blossom came off. But that's the size I like to pick it at. There's a couple of yellow squash. That's pretty tiny, but that's going to make really good eating. And one here. Aren't they pretty? They're very tender when you pick them at this size. That's a nice little haul for the zucchini and yellow squash. I'm gonna harvest some of these little orange Russolinis before I water. They're being watered mostly from the bottom, but we do a little bit of overhead watering too. This is like a terrible tease, just getting little guys like this. We're waiting patiently, or not patiently, for the big, beautiful beefsteak tomatoes that we're going to be getting over the next month or two. Time to go check the cucumbers. Let's see what we have. My husband's getting these beautiful tomato plants. Looking so happy. Already time to tie up those again. It's a constant thing, but it will be worth it when harvest time comes. The corn is tasseling and cobs are forming. I can hardly wait. The Tithonia, or Mexican sunflower, They are growing like crazy. There's 1, 2, 3, and there's 2 down there. And here's the crazy pumpkin melon patch. There goes a plane overhead. I feel like this place is becoming Grand Central Station. It's really kind of hard to deal with all the people moving here, especially from the letter C state, which we won't even mention. There's just a few cucumbers from this plant, but I want to keep on them so they don't get too big. Look at the bees. You can hear them humming when there's not traffic tearing by or roosters going off. It's just full. And there's the smoke haze in the background. There's only 1 cucumber from this plant, but we will take it. I'm going to take some time to tie this one up and get it looking a little better. And I think I will sign off here. I hope you have a great day. How are you doing with your gardens? Are you hanging in there? Are you ready to throw in the towel on July the 25th? This is the time of year where everybody gets really tired and hot and they're thinking, why am I doing this? Well, when you look at things like this, there's your answer. Not only is this food organic, it's so much better for you, but it's a lot cheaper, and it's very satisfying to be out here raising and growing these things, loving them, tending them, tying them up. And I hope that you can all get out here and do it early in the morning so that you don't get overwhelmed by the heat, because that's a real possibility. There's wildfires around the area. A car caught on fire yesterday on the way up to the mountains where I'm from, and that whole state highway was closed down for quite some time, because once that grass, that dry brown grass catches fire, that wildfire goes for quite a while. And then when you get it into the timber up there, that's even worse. But we will see it through. This has been a tough year in many ways, so many ways, emotionally, and trying to raise the garden when it was so cold, starting off for so long this spring, and now it's just hot. So don't give up. Try to find joy in your garden. Walk through and find the positive things, and tell yourself that it is worth it, that we need to keep growing, that we need to keep stowing. And don't forget to do it joyfully. Take care of yourself. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you being here. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to my old supporters. If we support each other, it's really going to help us out. We're going to gain a lot of knowledge on how to be self-sustainable and how to grow things and take care of ourselves and enjoy ourselves doing it. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.